Remote work and work from home haven't really made waves in Japan until now because of the COVID-19 pandemic and the precautions that many companies are taking in order to prevent the spread of the virus. Now, it's not all companies. There are still plenty of workplaces that aren't shifting to remote positions in Japan, but this does bring up a good opportunity to talk about potential work from home friendly apartments. I've been doing these videos for a couple months now in the safety of my bedroom, and I've been thinking, man, it would be really nice to have just like a separate room for work stuff, kind of, a nice work-life balance separation. So in today's video, I'm going to do a little bit of apartment hunting. Just going to be using my situation. What are the apartments that would be appealing to somebody who does primarily remote work but still wants to live around Tokyo? As is the case for most apartment searches, budget is the main criterion on which we start the apartment search. And for me, I'm setting the max rent price at 110,000 yen per month, around 1,050 USD. That is a little bit more expensive than my current apartment here. I'm setting it at this price point just so personally for myself, I get an idea of what's out there on the market. So here's a selection of a couple apartments that I think I would consider along the lines of trying to find an apartment that works well for remote work. This is a top floor corner 2DK apartment. The layout makes sense to me for something that would work in my situation. I don't need a spacious living room area. I just want an extra room that I can use to kind of add a little separation between work and life. This apartment's located in Adachi Ward, which is towards the north portion of the 23 wards of Tokyo. These traditionally shitamachi neighborhoods away from the downtown areas are kind of my jam. I really like living in one of these places, so this is right in line with what I think I'd be comfortable with. This next apartment is a 1 LDK, and I'm not 100% sure if it's the right layout for what I'm looking for. But I think I could make it work. Some interesting things about this apartment, just from glancing at the listing, are that there's this tile sunroom-esque part of the interior. I don't really know why it looks like this, but it looks like it could be pretty cool to have some indoor plants here, since there's lots of sunlight from these large windows. There's a high ceiling, but the partition between the bedroom and the living room doesn't go all the way from floor to ceiling. I don't know what that would be like, but just worth noting when I was looking through the listing photos. It is close to the Tama River, which is a major bonus in my book. So this is kind of another apartment that I would keep a close eye on. So moving outside of Tokyo, this apartment is located in Matsudo City, Chiba, which is still pretty close to Tokyo, and depending on what your closest station is, you might have a very convenient commute into Tokyo. But this isn't about commutes, so I'm thinking about this in terms of remote work. The low initial move-in fees of this apartment are pretty attractive. It's between Tokyo and Kashiwa, which is a larger station in Chiba. And this should prove to be a pretty quiet, chill neighborhood. I would have to take a little time to weigh the pros of the low move-in fees and low rental price, and the cons, in my opinion, of the building age and the apartment being on the first floor. Machida City is within Tokyo, just outside of the 23 wards, and neighborhoods in this city should provide a good balance between convenience close to downtown Tokyo and cheaper rent prices. I live within the 23 wards and I still don't go to Shinjuku or Shibuya every day, so this apartment being 5 minutes away to this closest station and then a 37-minute direct train ride to Shinjuku feels very doable to me for the times where I would need to go to downtown Tokyo. This last apartment is a lot of space for just one person, but it's also pretty tempting for someone who's working remotely. The service room here could be used as the office or workspace, and then that still leaves the bedroom, a tatami room, and the entire living dining space. I definitely don't have enough furniture to furnish this entire apartment, so that would be another kind of hurdle that I would have to consider if I'm looking at spaces like these. Also to note, low initial move-in fees, no deposit, no key money, along with this apartment being offered through the Gaijin Pot housing service, which provides bilingual support, utility setup assistance, and other useful services. Check the link in the description below for more details on what the Gaijin Pot housing service is. I'm also going to link some interviews we've done with apartment renters who have used this service, and you can learn more about their stories and how useful it was for them. So I know I didn't go into super detail about each listing. Check below for the links to the listings if you're more curious about these apartments. I basically just searched for apartments around Tokyo, Kanagawa, Saitama, Chiba that are 40 square meters or larger and under 110,000 yen per month. Depending on when you view this video or view the listings, the apartments may have already been taken offline. But if you use those search criteria or change them to whatever needs you have, you'll be able to browse the apartments on our listings. Since I'm pretty attached to Tokyo, even if my work goes full remote, I want to stay here. I didn't look too far into areas that are over 50 minutes or an hour away by train, but if there's an interest in what those kinds of apartments might look like, I might do a follow-up onto what kind of apartments I would look for outside of Tokyo. I'm going to put a link below in the description that goes to our seminar webpage where you can browse upcoming free online webinars that we host. In most of our webinars, we're joined by real estate agents or industry experts, and you even have a chance to pick their brain on some of these topics during a Q&A session. Look for that link down below, and there will be a list of all these webinars that are coming up. Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.